Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good evening today. Today, I want to talk about Juneteenth. Um, that is a day that's celebrated because enslaved um, people didn't find out that they were free until 2.5 years later. This happened in 1863. Um, they were freed in 1863. Lincoln signed a proclamation, emancipation, and they were freed. And 2.5 years later, they continued to work as slaves until 2.5 years later because the truth was withheld from them. And when I think about Juneteenth now, this happened on June 19th, okay, which is why we call it Juneteenth. Um, it's just kind of a slang for June 19th. Um, People at the time, this is just the way people spoke. Okay, so this was happened on Juneteenth. I think they were freed. Let me just look at my notes. In 63, January 63, I think is when he signed the papers. And yes, and they their freedom was delayed until June 19, 1865. So I just wanted to, talk about it because a lot of people don't understand, or they feel like, what the heck is Juneteenth? Why are we celebrating um, Juneteenth? And um, if you don't know, I want to be the first to tell some of you about it in case you didn't know. Um, okay, so let's get right into it. I am going to pull some cards because I want to talk to Spirit about this and see what Spirit has to say. I feel like at this time in our lives, guys, 2025, with the administration that we have, that things it just puts you back into that mind state of, we think about that when we, as Black people, we celebrate Juneteenth because we think about how people were free and didn't even know it. And I feel like now I think about that as supposedly we're free, but then we have this administration, and it's not just this one. I think that Spirit is just doing an awakening for all of us to know that we have given our power up. That is one of the things that I talk about a lot, is how we've given up our power, how we don't stand in our power. We are powerful people, but we don't use it the way we should. Yes, it's good to go out and vote for people, but you see what happened. Um, and our ancestors died so that we could vote. They put their lives on the line. They marched. They did it all. And that vote that we got, if I'm not mistaken, don't hold me to it, but I think it didn't happen until 1965 as Black people. Okay? Not that long ago. But I look at with Juneteenth coming around, I just want to kind of um, take people there because we're kind of at that road now where we're being delivered the same kind of thing that was delivered to the people in 1865 that didn't know. They didn't know. What is it that we don't know? Guys, okay, I think my internet keeps doing something. So I'm going to repeat that. We followed the rules. We voted. Um, we've done all the things that, they say, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and blah, 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 and you're not doing what you should be doing and blah, blah, blah. But the powers that be have the power, period. And if there's something that they don't want us to know, we don't know it. That's a problem with giving up your power. So I just want to begin today with Juneteenth because it is a celebration. And it's not a history lesson, but it's more about spiritual mirrors. And the mirror that shows, it's a mirror that shows us the truth. Okay, freedom can be written on paper and still be hidden in practice. So same thing today. Okay, in 1863, it was written on paper that the enslaved people were now to be let free. Hundreds of slave owners took thousands of slaves to Galveston, Texas, because they didn't want their slaves to know that they were free. They were trying to keep the truth from them. And Galveston, Texas was far enough away that the Union Army, didn't get there until I think the Federal Army went there in 1865 and made them release the slaves. We won't talk about how they felt because, there was a lot of joy. There was joy, there was happiness, there was grief. I mean, all the things that you would go through if, let's just say, you were part of the Red Hat group and everybody else was on the other side thinking something else when the cult part, that Red Hat cult part, wouldn't understand what the heck was going on. And in some sense, they wanted things to continue on because this is hard. I mean, it's just like anything else. So if you don't know any better, if you don't know better, you don't do better, right? But that's another whole story. That's another whole part of the problem, okay? So the enslaved people in Galveston didn't find out they were free until 2.5 years later because someone made the choice to keep them in the dark, to profit off of their delay, to preserve a dying system just a little bit longer. Guys, this makes me think about DEI. Preserve a dying system. So now there's things that have been put forward that's going to help all the people. And it's not like the people that is being helped is taking anything away from any other group of people, but the administration makes us think that there is this division, this gap that has to be closed. So we have to take away all of the opportunities that were given before and put people back in the dark again. Okay, so this is where I'm going with this, guys, even though it seems to be long and drawn out. It's like they didn't know, the slaves didn't know what was going on. And I feel like, we're not enslaved in that sense, but there is a part of the system that wants to keep us in a certain place. We can't go any farther. They feel like this has been going on long enough. We got to stop it, because if we don't stop it, we're not going to have enough. Even we're talking about billionaires, oligarchs, and all of those kinds of people who feel like something's being taken from them. So today, the systems still do the same thing. They don't need chains anymore. They use distraction, they use fear, they use misinformation, and they use division. They don't tell you you're powerful. They don't tell you that you're powerful, because your confusion is what's profitable. Your confusion today is what's profitable. So, with this reading today, it's like a spiritual reckoning. We're not just honoring Juneteenth. We're asking, where are we still enslaved? And I'm not talking about the minority, the dark-skinned people. I'm talking about all the people. You see how that works? It was a group of people in Galveston, Texas. Now it's a whole nation. Now it's the whole nation. And it includes all the people except the white men. All the people except the white men. Okay? So, who's or why are they still trying to keep us blind? So, let's just pull some cards and see what Spirit says. So, first thing I want to know is what was hidden then and now? What parallels exist between the delayed freedom of the past and the distraction or lies of today? Let's look at it. All right, Spirit, what parallels exist between the delayed freedom of the past and the distractions or lies of today? All right. And this card, Ace of Pentacles, is definitely about new beginnings, but Pentacles are also about focusing and planning, structure, that kind of thing. So I feel like um, this is what's being the distractions and the lies of today are keeping people from being abundant. They are keeping people away from having more of a structured life because of the deceptions and the truths that are being withheld. They're taking away opportunities that normally would be there because they don't want the system to change. Okay? So who still profits from this? Who still profits from us being in the blind and not knowing what the truth is, what the reality is? And when I talk about the truth and the reality is, what the reality is we have the power. So basically, Who profits from us not um, understanding that we have the power? These cards fell out, so I'm going to use these. This is about the deception. These people are trying to get away with something. All the division, um, the people with the power profits by stealing from us, by withholding the truth. This Ace of Swords is all about truth. It's in the reverse, though. So they, the powers that be, and we're talking about the 1%, basically, they feel like we're enslaved to them. We work for them. We make them profits because we work in at their places. They have all the companies, they run everything, and we work for them, and they give us a little bit of the profits. Basically, they're stealing from us. They're being deceptive. They're using trickery to make us feel like we have power. We have our power, but then too, they do things to make sure we see that they have the power. Okay? So the system is entrapping people. They are the hidden forces that are feeding off of our control and our confusion. That's just the bottom line. They control us, they confuse us, they cause division. You shouldn't be over there. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be relating to this person. You shouldn't be relating to that person. They are not as good as you. They are, you are better than them. That kind of thing. It's all about division and causing confusion and making us think if we get rid of DEI, then you guys can have what you need, because those people, they shouldn't have the same opportunities as you. So think about it. Okay, so next I want to ask, how are we being spiritually distracted? Where are we giving away our attention, our energy, and our truth? And we don't even realize it. Where are we giving it away without even realizing it? All right, Spirit, tell me more about how we're being spiritually distracted. How are we being spiritually distracted, Spirit? Wow. The devil. The devil talks about the attachments, the addictions, the illusion, self-destruction. This is where we're being spiritually distracted by a devil, but the devil is within us, guys. We look at the devil. We can look at the devil as being the powers that be, that kind of thing. But it's like we pretty much cause, we do things destructive towards ourselves. When we don't accept our power, when we don't believe in ourselves, when we give away our power to others because suppose there are supposed leaders, We're giving away our power. And that's where we're being spiritually distracted because, and we do it over and over and over again. This is one thing that the devil represents is you being addicted to something and you continue doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you don't even realize what you're doing because you think that that's the right thing. We put all these people in power, we send them to lead us, and then we find out that for the most part, I'm not saying all of them, but for the most part, they're basically looking out for themselves and their families, those that are close to them. Okay, so spiritually, we're being distracted because we are tempted by the promises that are made that we never see, that don't happen, because once the leaders get together, they decide um, on things that we thought was going to go another way, but then we realize that it didn't happen that way. I mean, you can put your own spin on it for whatever it is that you were looking for to happen, and it didn't happen. And we see this a lot in this administration. This administration is showing us exactly how the devil works. Okay? So spiritually, it's like we're stuck into this illusion of the way we think things should be. And we keep saying, oh, it's okay. They'll fix it. They'll fix it. Well, you've given away your power. You're emotionally disconnected from spirit because you're in that illusion that's bringing you closer to the darkness rather than to the light. Whenever you give away your power, you're giving it all up. Spiritually, you've lost it. And I feel like this is where spirit wants us to return back to. We're being distracted by all of these things that the leaders say that they're going to do for us. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to, and look at where it's led us to today. Look at where we are today. We're going to make America great again. For who? This was fine for some people until they realize it hit them. They're not getting what they want out of it. Okay? So Spirit is saying that's where we're being distracted. We've given up our energy. We've given up our truth. And our attention is being taken away from that power, from our truth, from our energy, and so we're stuck and emotionally disconnected for the most part. So where are we complicit? What habits, beliefs, or fears are keeping us in alignment with the old system? All right, so let's see. Spirit, tell us what habits, beliefs, or fears are keeping us in alignment with the old system. Thank you. I think for the most part, we're okay with the betrayal. We're okay with the lies. We've kind of just given up. I go back to that again. We're giving ourselves up. we're even when we find out that things are being taken from us, instead of trying to balance, we try to avoid the truth that we've been betrayed. We've been betrayed. And because we're so used to it, I think we just keep on going with it because we are afraid of what change may bring. So we just go along with the system. It's okay. You know, this is why someone in the administration has 45 felonies. And it's okay. Somewhere along the line, the ball was dropped. And it wasn't among the people, the little people. It was among the people that we gave our power to. We put in office. They didn't do their job. And we were okay with that. Because if we weren't okay with it, something would have been done about it. But no, we sat back and let delay after delay after delay happen. And now we have a felon in office. With 34 felonies? Normally, you have a felon, you can't even get a job. Okay? And now he's bringing the country down. So, all right, let's move on because that would be another story that I could get into, but I won't. That's why I keep my notes, guys, nearby. Okay. Spirit. So I need to know what action frees us now? What must we know, remember, or embody in order to reclaim our spiritual liberation right now? Okay. Okay, quite a few fell out. And I'm going to take them off. Okay, so we have a challenge. Pretty much we have to take our control back. It's like we have to, the little control that we have to maintain that, what we have left, and try to put things in perspective so that we protect ourselves from letting this happen again. And then we also have the 10 of Pentacles. This is talking about legacy. We got to think about, guys, how do we want our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren to live? Do we want them to live at a place where they have given up their power? It's up to us now to make sure that that doesn't happen. So I think Spirit is saying we got to think about the future, the generations that are coming. Also, we have to make sure that we stand in our power so that they will have power. And they can look back and say, you know what, our ancestors, this happened and they stood in their power. They regained their power. And now things are better for us. And then it takes me back again, guys, to 1965 when our ancestors stood their ground. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Normally, this is about an offer, but I think we have to be creatively. We have to use our imagination. We have to work together so that things work out the way that they should, so that we can grasp that power back and hold on to it. It's like Spirit is offering us, take it back, take it back. It's yours. It's not someone else's. Spirit is saying, take that power back. And people have to work together. This is the thing, guys. And with all the marches and things that have been going on, yes, people have been working together. And hopefully soon we will see the turnaround of things. We'll turn that corner where things will start looking better. But Spirit is saying, hey, work with the people, all the people, all the people. Okay? Do what you can do in your own way. Okay? And then we have, here it is, a celebration card. If these things are done, as I've said here, as I pull these cards here, Spirit's saying, yes, there will be celebration. This is what you can do now. Stand your ground. Look at what's going to happen in the future for the future generations. Know that Spirit is giving you the opportunity to fix this. Work with the people, and you will be celebrating. So that's what Spirit wants you to do right now. But in closing, I just want to say Juneteenth reminds us that freedom delayed is not freedom denied, but it's freedom stolen. Okay? It's freedom stolen. And I think that's what's happened with us today. And that was true then, and it's true now. If you wait for the system to set you free, you die in chains. The system is not going to set you free. So today, let today be the day that you break your own chains. Juneteenth, this is a day that we can all celebrate at this time. So let the celebration begin, because Spirit says you were born to be free. You were just taught to forget. We were all taught to forget. We're already free, but now you can remember. And this is the whole point of the reading, guys, to remember that we were born to be free. We have free will. Spirit gave it to us. We have the power. We just need to take it back. And Spirit is saying with that Knight of Cups, here you go. I'm giving you another chance. I'm giving you another chance. So as we celebrate Juneteenth, Spirit, people, Spirit wants us to know that this is a day that we all should think about. It's not just history. It's remembering. If you like what you hear here, please like, share, and subscribe. And I think that I will be back with more on this. Even though it's, we celebrate Juneteenth for one day, June 19th. I think we should celebrate it more often, especially now that we're the way things are going. And I hope you guys will join me. All right. So I'll see you on the next video, and you all have a good evening. Bye now.